Hi, my name is Akshara, and today's topic is anatomy of the brainstem. Um, so as we know that three to we have 12 pairs of cranial nerves and 31 pairs of spinal nerves, and 3 to 12 of the cranial nerves comes from brainstem, and first, second, and the spinal part of the 11th cranial nerve comes from the brain, from the other parts of brain, but the third to cranial nerve comes from the brainstem. And this is our optic nerve, this is our optic chiasma, and this is our optic tract. And then here is cerebellar peduncle, and this is interpeduncular fossa. In here there are some structures which are called infundibulum or tuberosinium, which is important for connection of pituitary gland. These are mammillary bodies, and these are posterior perforate arteries. And this is pons, which is the biggest and most bulgy part of the brainstem, and this is medulla oblongata. So the cranial nerve which is originating from midbrain is third and fourth cranial nerve. The only cranial nerve which originates from posterior part of the brainstem is the fourth cranial nerve. And except fourth cranial nerve, all other 3 to 12 cranial nerves originate from the anterior or anterior-lateral part of the brainstem. Then this is the fifth cranial nerve which originates from the pons, and it has the fifth or trigeminal cranial nerve. This is a really thick it is a mixed nerve, and it has a thick sensory part and a small motor part. 6th, 7th and 8th cranial nerve originate from a pontomedullary junction. 7th cranial nerve again has a small sensory part which is called as nucleus intermedius, which is sensory part of the 6th nerve. And now the last 4 nerves, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th, they originate from the medulla oblongata. The 12th cranial nerve originate from between the olives and pyramids, and 9th, 10th and cranial part of the 11th nerve originate from posterior of the olive and between the posterior part of the olive and the superior cerebellar peduncle. And the remaining spinal part of 11th cranial nerve, it originates from C1 to C5 of the spinal of the vertebrae, and it ascends and joins the cranial part of the 11th nerve, and then forms the 11th cranial nerve. So we have studied about the brainstem and origination of the cranial nerve. The second thing we want to study is this part, which is brainstem.